Well, Australia will never be the same. That message out of Sydney this morning following a mass shooting at Bondi Beach. 16 people have been killed, including a 12-year-old girl. 40 remain hurt in hospital. The attack has been declared an act of terrorism after two men opened fire on an event being held to mark the start of the Jewish holiday Hanukkah. Witnesses described scenes of chaos and fear as the incident unfolded.
Heard the gunshots, but we weren't sure initially what it was. And then one of my mates was like, oh, that's definitely gunshots. And then we saw people start to run. And I think after that, then everyone started to scatter. Like the beach cleared in like 30 seconds.
And everyone is running down. And two police officers lying down on the ground next to me.
I seen like a kid, like she was like maybe 8 years old. She got injured on the leg and she was crying and she was on the ground.
He just kept shooting, and then he turned around and he shot right in my direction, and then I dropped my gun and sped off.
One moment, the man in the gun, he say me, I go before the car, yes.
He aimed at you?
Me, moi, there is one car, I say this, I'm cashed.
Tiffany Salmond was at the Bondi Beach as the attack unfolded, and she joins us now live. Tiffany, great to have you with us this morning, a terrifying event. Can you tell us where you were and what you heard when you knew something was going wrong?
Yeah, so when the first shot went off, I mean, it sounded like a gunshot, but you don't expect there to be a gunshot at Bondi Beach. So I turned around and looked at the road thinking it was a car backfiring, but went off again. And then it went off a third time and I looked around and people were running. And so I started sprinting. But when that first gunshot went off, I was about 20 meters from the bridge where they were shooting, which I didn't realize until a couple hours later when I got home, and I was actually pretty shocked that I was that close. But I had no idea where the gunshots were coming from. I just knew it sounded close. So I just sprinted for my life, literally. It was terrifying. And I ran all the way down to the police station, just along the other side of Bondi Beach.
So the gunmen had sort of set themselves up on this bridge overlooking the park where the festival was going. And you're saying that you were actually just meters away from that area. What were you doing just prior to the shots ringing out?
Yeah, so I'd just been for a swim and me and my friend were sitting on the grass just right next to the bridge, and we just said goodbye to each other about a minute prior, and I was walking off and I was, about 20 meters from the bridge. I was calling my dad to tell him about my day, and that's when the gunshots started. And I think that was probably the most shocking thing last night because I had no idea I was that close.
And you were with friends. I mean, you're fairly fortunate not to be caught up in the gunfire. I mean, it sounds like shots were fired.
Yeah, no, extremely lucky. As soon as I got into the police station, I was calling my friend to make sure they were okay, and luckily they were. I have no idea if the shots were being fired over the side of the bridge that I was on. I'm not sure if it was just solely on the other side of the bridge, but it's shocking to wake up this morning and see the death toll rising, although we were told to expect it to rise, but so many people injured. And when I was sitting in the police station and when we had no idea what was happening, I was saying to my dad on the phone, I was like, I know so many people haven't made it through this because there were just so many shots.
I mean, it's just horrific because we know Bondi is one of the busiest beaches in Australia. I mean, what was it like before the attack? I assume it was a busy day, lots of people swimming, lots of people at the festival, people just going about their Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, extremely busy. Like me and my friend were actually saying when we were at the beach, like, oh my gosh, like it's packed. Like you'd think it was midday on a Saturday, but it was a really hot day yesterday. It got up to 31 degrees and it's previously been down in the early 20s. So a lot of people were making use of the warm weather, which is just horrifying that it happened to be, unfortunately, such a busy day down there.
And when these shots rung out and you were with your friends and you're on the phone to your dad near the bridge where the shooters were, so you said you went to the police station. Was that to seek shelter, or did police encourage you to come in there, or what, you know, what were you and your friends doing at that point? I had no idea where I was running to. Like I was just pure panic, and the crowd was running all down to the south end, which
the bridges along the north end. So everyone was just running. I had no idea where I was going. I was thinking someone was probably walking through the crowd with a gun, so I was just sprinting. I just wanted to get off the beach, and so as soon as I could, there's a crossing across the road, and I kind of just dodged cars to run through. I wasn't going to wait for the lights, and I was about to run into a restaurant. They were holding their doors open, but then I spotted the police station. I was like, well, makes sense to go there, and a lot of people did. A lot of us were in the back room with the door locked, having no idea what was going on.
And how long did the police operation go on for? I mean, how quickly was this situation resolved? I assume all the cordons are still up in place now as they carry out the scene examination. But did police move in fairly swiftly?
Well, yeah, I mean, there had probably only been about maybe 10 shots at this point as I was running to the other end of the beach, and I could see local police kind of hiding around the corners, like telling people to go, and they were trying to actively make their way up the street. And well, actually, when I was right by the bridge, and probably only like those 3 shots had gone off, there were 2 police cars in the car park, obviously just already there, and they immediately put their sirens on. So there was a lot of police already there, local police. And I remember when I was running down the street and I was looking at these 2 cops standing around the corner making their way up the street, I remember just feeling terrified for them. Like, here we were running for our lives, scared, and they were having to make their way towards the danger, not even knowing what was going on, just like us. And I was scared for them, to be honest.
Of course. I mean, it's just horrific. We're so that you are okay and your friends are okay. That's Tiffany Salmond. Thank you very much for joining us on Herald Now this morning and giving us some insight into what went on at Bondi Beach last night.